First off, the plan right now is to swim the 400 IM, the 200 freestyle, the 200 butterfly, and the 200 backstroke. I'm likely not going to be swimming the 200 IM or the 400 free. And as far as my take on how things are when I swim with them, as far as, like you said, them getting more exposure than I do, because they definitely do, and rightfully so. But I think it puts me in kind of an interesting position because I've been training day in and day out for years to make this team, and day in and day out for years to win an Olympic gold medal. And I think if I can pull that off, it'll make the entire experience that much more sweet, because all of a sudden things are going to be like, where the heck did this guy come from? So that's just kind of how I look at it.
Okay, next question we'll do Jean there in the pink.
Hi, Tyler. Jean Marbella with the Baltimore Sun. Has it helped that you haven't had to deal with the big pressure of, the media spotlight that Ryan and Michael have had to deal with, or would you have trained the same way no matter what?
I would have trained the same way. I mean, whether or not people want to come to me on a daily basis and talk to me about my training leading up to the Olympics wouldn't have made a big difference. If anything, that would have made me more hungry for it, because, I mean, being in the spotlight is obviously, in a positive spotlight, is a very good thing. People like that, but like I said, it doesn't change my preparation for the meet at all.
Hi, Tyler. Paul Newberry from Associated Press. Do you ever sort of feel like, though, you came along at the wrong time? Talking about going against these two guys, you might have been a big star, obviously.
Maybe I came along at the perfect time.
Oh, okay. Why do you say that?
I mean, the interesting thing about swimming, especially over the past 4 or 5 years, is that because of who Ryan is, because of who Michael is, and because of what they've accomplished, there's really never been this much exposure for swimming. And there really hasn't. Swimming is, on a worldwide level, especially in the United States, so well covered, especially in Olympic year, and a lot of it is due to those two. And, where would I be sitting here without what those two have done in the past? I don't know.
Well, Kelly?
Hi, Tyler. Kelly Anderson with Sports Illustrated. Can you explain your thinking about possibly passing on the 2IM?
I mean, what it boils down to is, realistically, I'm probably not going to be able to place myself in the top 2 in the 2IM, and it falls on the same day as the 200 backstroke, which is another strong contending event for me, so it just doesn't make sense for me to swim it.
Karen? Oh, well, we'll go there first and then Karen.
Hi, Taylor. Scott Motice with Athletes in Action. You mentioned a moment ago that you've done this for a long time, and I'm curious, what is it that keeps you motivated day in, day out to train, to stay at it? What externally or internally would you say motivates you?
I mean, there's a lot of things that you can say that will externally or internally motivate any one person, but I think the biggest one for me is that I live for the race. I mean, if you talk to anybody who's ever coached me or has had the chance to work with me on a trip or one of the national team trips, they'll tell you that I'm a much better racer than I am a trainer. And this became especially apparent to me when somebody showed me a video of me in a training set. And then they also showed me a video swimming the same thing in a race. I mean, I had done a set of 400 IMs, and I did a 400 IM in a race. And I almost couldn't recognize myself, because the way I swim when I'm in the pool against other people and everybody's watching and the pressure's on is just different. And I don't know why, but just the person I am, I kind of respond to the pressure in a positive way.
Tyler, when you're trying to decide between two events, let's say the 200 IM and the 200 backstroke, how much of it is how good you are in the event, and how much of it is what the competition is stacking up in the event at the trials?
I mean, swimming it's an individual sport. I mean, obviously there's a racing aspect to it. You've got the person next to you, but at the end of the day, you can only control what you do in that lane. So I think more than anything, it comes down to how good you think you are in that particular event. And then as a secondary consideration, you've taken into account who else is in that event. Because, I mean, if you're not very good at an event and there's really no one else in it, then okay, yeah, sure, I'll swim it. But you've got the past 2 world record holders as the top 2 seeds in that event. Seems a lot like 2008.
Okay, we'll take the next question from Dan.
Hey, Tyler, how's your expectations this time compared to 4 years ago? Are they different? And is your level of confidence any different this time?
The answer to both of those questions would be a loud, resounding yes. I mean, the expectation that I had coming into 2008 was I just wanted to make the finals. I didn't expect to make the team. I didn't even expect to do as well as I did in 2008. And that was part of what helped me realize, like I said, how I respond to pressure. And for me, that was the biggest meet I'd ever been to. I mean, I say it all the time, 14,500 people, live pyrotechnics on the deck. We're in this amazing facility, amazing arena. It's unlike anything that any of us had ever experienced before, so it was crazy. And this year, I fully expect to put myself on the Olympic team. That's what I've been training for it ever since I fell short in 2008. And that being said, my confidence, because of what I've been training for years and years and the past successes I've had, is, an order of 10 higher than what it was in 2008.
Do you have any more questions? We'll go Jean and then Paul.
Thank you. You've said you aren't going to go to another Olympics after this one. Why not? And is the door really closed? And would you change your mind depending on what happens this year?
The door isn't closed, and I apologize if there's been any misunderstanding with what my goals are. But for me, I've seen and gotten the chance to experience what automotive racing might be like. And that's something that I've been around for a long time. That's something that I've been interested in for a very long time. And it's just something that I think I'd be really good at, but I think I would enjoy it. Not to say that I don't enjoy swimming in any way. I love it. It's gotten me to where I am now. It's fantastic. And kind of the way things are right now is if I get an opportunity at some point to make a serious endeavor into racing as a professional, I would have to consider that, not to say that there's no chance for an Olympics after this at all.
You might have kind of answered this with saying your expectations for 2008, but what was that? How disappointing was that, or what was it like, going through that experience? And how does it help you? I don't know. Does it help, or coming into this?
It was very disappointing. Obviously, looking up and seeing that you got third when the top 2 go, it hurts. And at the same time, though, I got the chance to sit down after the Olympics were over and kind of after the Olympic trials were over, leading into the Olympics, and I was thinking to myself, God, I wish I was there. I mean, what I would give to be there. But at the same time, I looked back at my races, and nothing I could have done in those races could have been any better. I swam the best race I had at that point, and it wasn't good enough. So it's bittersweet. I mean, I want the U.S. to do as well as possible. And if that means that I'm not on the team, then that's better for the U.S. But that being said, that was that much more fire for me over the last 4 years coming into this meet. I don't want that to be the case again. Yeah. And on that note, I'll actually never forget watching the 4x100 relay and seeing how far behind we were coming into the last leg. And I was like, oh my God, there's no way we're going to make this. There's no way we're going to do it. And then Jason just kept coming back, and everybody else in the house was asleep, and I jumped up and started screaming, and my dad comes running, and he's like, what's wrong? He thought somebody had died in the other room, but I was like, we just won the relay. It was awesome.
Bonnie?
Tyler, all things being equal, would you prefer to have both Michael and Ryan in the final Monday night with you, or does it matter?
Right now, I don't think it matters. This is one of the only meets in the world where first place is just as good as second. And, you know, it's not going to change what I do in the pool on Monday night, whether or not he's in it. It really is not. I'm going to throw down and swim the best race I've got. That being said, I think, you know, I've been training to beat the world champion for the last year in that event, and I think I can do it. So I think if both of them were in it, great. If not, I think I'm still going to make the team.
Go with Karen.
As a follow to that, do you expect Michael to be in that race Monday night?
I mean, my expectations are no, but stranger things have happened.
Go with Dan. And Mike will come over.
Hey, Tyler, can you give us a little insight to your training, what it's like at Fullerton? Pretty high. It was a pretty high-profile group with a lot of the female Olympians, but and a coach, and there's been a lot of transition there. But how did it all shake out for you? What level of consistency has it been for you there at Fullerton?
Well, there's not a lot of people that can have the consistency that you talked about going from one program to another. I got to go from one side of the country to another side of the country back home and still train with the same coach. Not many people can say that, and it's something I'm really lucky for. But my training, thankfully, was able to take a little bit of a different focus, going from, okay, I got to go to practice, now I got to make sure I have enough energy to go to class and actually stay awake and do all the other things that are associated with being a college student. Getting to come out to California and train as a professional with a professionally minded group, you still have things that you need to commit to outside of the pool, but they're not as regular, nor are they as stressing as it would be in college. So it was nice to really come out to California and focus on what I wanted to do with as far as my goals are concerned on an international level.
Do you have any more questions? Okay, well, if that's it, Tyler, thank you for your time and wish you the best of luck in competition this week.
Thank you very much.